Hello, this is Pat Walker at MissionWinners.com, and I have a whole bunch of material to share with you. A little bit of background for you. I'm one of the co-founders of Mission Winners with Owen Larson. I've been involved in the markets since 1985. I was there for the crash of 87 and everything in between. Before that, I taught on the university level. I taught advanced level classes. My final was 24 pages typed. And it's not because I'm a jerk. It's just that I have very high expectations on what I want from the people that I work with. And I work with you. I work for you. I work with you. And I love explaining topics that are relatively difficult to understand in a way that makes it easy for you. So let's go through this. Basic foundations. And again, I'll back up and tell you this. I'm very thankful. I've sat down with Bill O'Neill a couple of times and talked with him one-on-one. Learned a lot from the man, a tremendous amount. Met Martin Zweig, met Ed Sakota, was a sponge, learned from all these people. I'm very serious about this, and you can say, Patrick, why? I had to be. I was a sole supporter of a family of 6. My wife was a stay-at-home mom, which was very busy because she's raising 4 kids. 4 kids. But I'm grateful for everything that we have. I truly am grateful. I'm very serious about finding great stocks that we can buy at the right time and hopefully make good money. But I'll also tell you this. Not every stock goes up in price. Not every breakout works. So what do? It's really simple. We limit losses. And you can say, oh, that's something you can't talk about? No, you have to. We have to have the opportunity to make money. But the person who never has a loss is a liar. So we are very, very stringent on our entries. We are very stringent in our stock selection process. And we are very stringent in our tactics of riding these stocks for as long as we can. Now, you know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. What am I going to do for you? By Jove, I'm going to show you 1,000 words. That's the bottom line. So let's get down to the foundations right here. First slide, proven traits of super stocks. And you can say, Patrick, don't insult me by reading to me, but it is very, very important. Stocks, this is 30 plus years of research. 80% of them had earnings up 40% or higher. 80% of super stocks, I mean stocks that don't go up, 10%, stocks that can double, triple, quadruple, have earnings up 40% or higher before they broke out. 75% of them had sales up 40% or higher on average for 2 quarters. Folks, that is a statistical edge that we can use to find super stocks. That's what we're looking for. Proven traits of super stocks. Now I'm going to take it a step further for you. I'm going to drag this in here right there, just to give you an example. This is one of the stocks that we're looking for. We're looking for IIPR. Look at the numbers on this. Earnings. Here we go. Remember that ticker symbol. Remember it. Now, I want to take it a step further. I want to show you our foundations that will help you make money. That's what we're after. I was involved in the beta test group on this original product, Market Smith product, years ago. It was called Daily Graphs Online. I'm going to enlarge this for you. These are my screens. There's 30 years of work in these screens. I'm going to go through them with you. Earnings per share rank, relative strength rank, composite rating, 90, 90, 90, great groups, 40% earnings and 40% sales, composite rating of 90. The bill screen. These are wonderful screens. I couldn't do this without them. I will tell you this. Great estimates going forward. Stocks in the top 10 groups, folks. Money flows there. This is a basic part of our foundation. This is a list. This is my master list. It's a combination of 4 screens. And here they are, the 90%, all right? 90 earnings, 90 relative strength, 90 composite rating. There's about 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 publicly traded companies. When I run these screens, each screen separately, 40% earnings. I want stocks that last quarter's earnings were up 40% or higher. You can say, Patrick, why? I'm going to come back to this and show you what we're looking for. We're looking for super stocks that can make big moves. We'll leave the screen up. 40% earnings last quarter, 45% average sales for 2 quarters. Stocks in the top 10 groups. We put them all together in one master list. By so doing, we have a great list of stocks. You can say, well, Patrick, how many stocks are you looking at when you combine all these together? We're very stringent, folks. I don't look at low price stocks. In fact, I'm going to quantify that for you. I don't look at stocks under $10 a share. I don't look at stocks that trade less than 300, 400,000 shares a day. I don't want them. I want to stack the deck in my favor. I take all of these screens and I run them. And by so doing, I have a great master list. I want to take it a step further. See that on Max List? This is another list of stocks that I look at. I focus on these. These are big institutional stocks. These are stocks that the mutual funds have to own or they'll be fired. The managers will be fired. So I combine all these together in looking for the best of the best. So now we have 2 different lists right here. You can say, Patrick, can you go a step further and show me some examples? You know, there's a great quote, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm going to show you thousands of words today to help you. This is every one of these stocks I'm showing you, by the way, we bought them. We bought them and our members own them. Here's the first one, IIPR. This was an actual stock that we bought right through here. Now, folks, remember, I pointed out, I want stocks that have either great earnings and or great sales. They don't need both. But let's take a look at this. Note the nice long base. Note the volume surge right here when it pushes through these tops. It's simple. Anybody can see it. A 5th grader could look at this and say, oh, that looks pretty good. I think that's something to buy. And that's a wonderful move right there, folks. And I do stress, when we bought this stock was in a leading group and it has great earnings and great sales. Now, I stress again, do you need both? No, you don't. No, you don't. One or the other. It's better if you have both, but you only need one. All right. And you can see the breakout, you can see the volume surge, and you can see the march forward. Folks, I ought to be honest, I love when they do that. I really do. By the way, if you have any questions, you know you can contact us. We're on the web, and we'll answer your questions. One of the things that we pride ourselves in is we answer questions all day long live for our VIP members. In fact, I'll take it a step further. We have VIP members that say, hey, can you do a chart analysis on Amazon for me or Apple or whatever? And I said, sure. And we make a video for them and we send it to them so that they can study it. How long are the videos? 5 to 10 minutes, but we go in depth on chart analysis to help speed up the learning curve of our members. I'm going to show you another chart. I'm going to slide this in, and I know with technology, things can get a little slower, so we'll give it a minute. This is Okta, all righty? Look at the clean and simple base. At the time, this was a stock that was in a leading group and had either great earnings and or great sales. And it pushed right through here on a volume pickup, and it marched up. And you can say, well, that's a pretty good move. 30 to the mid 50s. Folks, the last time I checked, that's 20 points right here. 20 points. What do you get with 20 points on 30? Oh, that's a 66% gain. But you can just see the simple trend. I'd like to share this with you also. I'm a trend follower. I'm a breakout investor and a trend follower. And I do not look at 5-minute charts, and I hardly ever look at 10-minute charts. I would look at the daily, the weekly, I will look at the hourly, and I will look at the 30-minute chart, especially when a stock is pushing through the pivot to see it for volume confirmation. That's a great tactic that most people don't know about. I'm sharing it with you. I share it with VIPs. Something that can help you. It's a tactic I've used for decades. No volume, no buy. Remember that. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. If they're not voting, guess what? Neither am I. Breakout, and it runs on up. And that is exactly what we're looking for. And you can see this. The purple's the 20-day. The green is the 50-day. The blue is the 20-day. Excuse me, this is 200-day. The blue is the 20-day, and the yellow is the 8-period exponential moving average. The 200 is simple. The 50 is simple. The 20 is simple. And the 8-day is exponential. I found that helps us ride trends better and not give back too much profit when we're managing the stock. By the way, we owned this. Did we sell some into strength? Yes. We just let it work. And that's all. That's a classic example for you. I'd like to show you another one. This is DBX. We're looking at DBX right here. Again, folks, simple base, nothing fancy, just going sideways. And you can see these nice base here. And again, folks, I'm really big on educating people. To know that 2 + 2 = 4 is knowledge. But to know why 2 + 2 = 4 is knowledge that's transferable to other situations. My goal is to give you that power so that you know why, and then you can apply it to other situations. Then you have the power to make good, solid investing decisions. Long base. Look when it broke out across these tops. Right there. By the way, this stock, I guarantee it had either great earnings and or great sales. Buying it right here at around $32. You can say, well, 32 to 40 something in 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 4 days? That's good money. Now, am I going to lie to you and tell you that we sold it up here? Nope. That's a lie. Liars buy at the bottom and sell at the top. But you know what we're going to do? By Jove, we're going to get the meat in the middle. We're going to make money on the way up, which leads to a very important point that I have to share this with you. It's a great tactic. One of my degrees is in psychology. And the biggest part of this game is not what's before your eyes. It's what's between your ears. By selling a little bit of this on the way up, it guarantees a profit because we're not going to take our last shares down to our price. So no matter what happens, we're going to make money. Now, if you have that mindset and you practice that tactic, what does it allow you to do? It allows you to manage the stock better with less stress. And less stress leads to better decision-making on your behalf. And this is something we teach the VIPs all the time, talking about this stuff. Now, is this advanced? No, this is simple stuff, but it'll help you make money. And again, that's a nice return. I'm going to show you another one here. I'm just grabbing these. Wicks, going through here. Nice, long breakout. Nice base, simple base. A 6th grader could see this. And you'd say, well, Pat, where'd you buy? Right here. Had a volume surge. We bought it right through here. And it moved up. And you'd say, well, what are you talking about? Oh, 87 ran up to 110? 87 to 110 in 2.5 weeks? That's good money. Now, am I going to lie to you and say we sold all of it up there? No. But did we sell some on the way up? Yes. Yes, we did. Came down here, started to rally again, sold some more, had this big down volume bar here, sold some more, wiggled around, had this gap up and reversal, and then finally dropped down, sold the last of our shares right through here, through the 50-day. It was a great gain. It was a great gain with low stress. And this is the beauty of it, folks. You don't have to watch 5-minute charts. You can just let this thing work. That's what we're after over and over to do for you. So every night for our VIPs, we make a video. It's called the Key List video, where we go through, I scan all these charts. I scan about 120 charts every night, and I look for the best of the best, and I put together a video with the chart annotated with the buy price discussed in the chart, discussing the nuances of the chart, the pluses and the minuses. But then we take it a step further, folks. We also send out a key list every night in tabular format with the ticker symbol and the buy price to the penny and any notes that are relevant to help you make a better decision. Do you have to buy all of them? No, but you find the ones that fit you. And this is the best part, folks. These stocks have already been vetted. You go, what do you mean? Hey, if I can't buy it, I'm not going to put it on the key list. It's that simple. Every stock on that key list is one that I might buy. That's a fact. It would be morally wrong not to do that. We've got to do it the right way. Makes it easier for you. Something else we do is if we are going to buy something, we have a green icon that we slide in and put it in the VIP feed telling people we're buying Amazon, we're buying Google, Tesla, whatever. We let it work. There we go. Now we've got a full screen. And I hope that helps you, folks. And by the way, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. So now we're looking at Square right in here. It's from last year. A clean and simple downward sloping trend line. And it lifted off. By the way, what did it lift off of? It lifted off the 50-day. Do you think we're the only people in the world that know about the 50-day? Heck no, everybody knows about the 50-day. And that's sweet right there. Look at the move. And it marches up. Sells some into strength, comes down to the 50-day. I want you to think about this. You know, I talk about trends paying. Folks, we could sell the rest of it losing the 50-day, and we're still selling for a 20% profit. 20%. Did we? No. Why? Because we have a good cushion. We'd already sold a little into strength, so we could weather the pullback to the 50-day. And it marches, and it marches, pulls back, starts to lift up again. We sold more. This bar here, do you think we sold some losing the 8-day and the 20-day on that volume right there? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Great question. We have a question from one of our members. Why did I not sell it all when it lost the 8-day moving average? That's a great question. By the way, I welcome your questions, please. And there's no such thing as a bad question. Every question is important. Why? Because you're asking it. You're serious about this. And I respect you for your time and your initiative to be here. Right here, why not sell it all? The trend is still up. The trend is still up. We have a good profit cushion. We can afford to let the last shares or let these shares work for us. Did we sell some into strength up here? Yeah, sure we did. But you know what's the beauty of a trend following system that's proven? Picture this. You buy right here at around $50 and this thing runs up to near 70, falls down. It could fall all the way down here to the 50-day. And let's suppose you sell the rest of it for $58. You sold some on the way up. You sell the rest for $58. You still made money. One of the things that's very important is when you're following a trend, and this is for everybody, ride it as long as possible. And I'm going to give you a true confession. This used to drive me up the wall. Years ago, decades ago, I'd buy something like this and it'd go up and I'd go, oh man, that's awesome. Oh boy, I got to sell it. Fell on heavy volume. I'm out. Goodbye. And the thing keeps on marching. And I can never find a spot to get back in the stock. It drove me bonkers. So I realized, I said to myself, I have got to find a method that will allow me to stay in the stock for much longer. And that's where the trend following comes in, whether it be the 8-day, the 20-day, and the 50-day. Didn't lose the 50-day here, just breached it, but we've got cushion. And then we caught more of it. By the way, from 65 up to 98, last time I checked, that's 30 points. Would you like to take 30 points without having to do any work? Let the stock work for you. This is a recent one. This is from this year, pushing right through here. VIPs owned this too. Remember how we always talked about earnings and sales? You want one or the other? And being leading groups? Well, when we bought this, you can see it, folks. Earnings were up 112%. Sales were up 54% at the breakout. And I know this as I sit here right now, there are VIP members watching this and they're smiling going, oh yeah, Pat, I remember that. That was sweet. There you go, right here. It was in the top 10 groups when it broke out. That's what we're looking for. Hold on just a second, please. Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. I'm fighting a fever right now, so bear with me. So Kirkland lifted through here. And again, folks, we quantify our edge. How? I'll show you how. Y'all still looking at the chart of KL? It walks up the 8-day. It walks up the 20-day. Folks, If we sold a little, by the way, there's a pivot spot right there to buy more, okay? It runs up, and then what does it do here? Right here on this bar, it loses the 8-day and the 20-day on volume. That's a trigger to sell some, and we did. Comes down, and look at what it does, folks. Comes right down, right there to, see this? Comes right down here to the 50-day, then bounces right off of it. We just let it work. Comes up here, starts to pull back to the 50-day. Finally, when it's losing the 50-day here on heavy volume and staying below the 50-day, see this? All of a sudden, the stock's living below the 50-day. We sold our last shares and made money. Made money. So there's another example for you, all right? We always manage them. I have to share this with you also, and this is important. You could say, Pat, does every stock work? No. And if I said they did, you'd say, you're a liar. And you know what? You'd be right. No, they all don't. That's why we're so stringent with our entries. And do you all buy all your shares at one time? No, there's rules of proper pyramiding. You start with like 50%. Let's suppose your goal is to get up to 100 shares, okay? 100 shares. You buy, and you're starting with 100 shares. Your first lot is 50 shares. After it goes up 3 to 5%, buy another 30 shares. Goes up another 3 to 5%, you buy your last 20 shares. 50, 30, 20 equal 100. Now here's the beauty of this tactic. If price does not go up, what do you have? You only have 50 shares. If it drops, your loss is much smaller. That's what we're after. So there's another chart for you. Uplift. Nice long base, pushing through here. By the way, this is, see right here, folks? This is going back here a ways. These things work continually through time. Do you know why charts do what they do? Have you ever thought about this? What are charts? Charts are a reflection of human emotion. Fear, greed, panic, complacency. It's all reflected in the chart. And human emotions haven't changed since we lived in caves. So we manage them accordingly. When it starts to get loose, we can get out. But did we make money? Yes, we did. Now I'm going to show you a couple more here real quick, okay? Right here, folks, we're going to show you some more charts. These are things we own now. And folks, this is not a brag fest, okay? No. There's a great quote. Don't equate brains with a bull market. Here's your bottom line. Apple. We picked Apple up right here. Why? The stock went up. It pulled back on decreasing volume. You see this right here? And I told our VIP members, if it lifts off here on a pickup in volume, and by the way, you could say, what's here? What's here? The 8-day and the 20-day, right? There's a method to our madness. Lifts off right here, we buy it on a pickup in volume. Look at the volume pickup. And it lifts up. And folks, it trends up the 8-day, comes down, loses the 20-day. You can sell some here, and we did. But what's it done since then? Just marched up. Do we still own it? Yes, we do. We own it from right here. Right there, around 229 a share as we own this stock. 229 to 300, that's good money. Trends pay. I'm going to show you another one here. This is advanced micro devices. Now, most of you know this. Remember how I showed you those first slides about leading groups and leading stocks? This is a leading group. It's a semiconductor. Remember how I said people talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks? Folks, the stock's going sideways, and right there, it pushes off the moving average. It's a flat base. Look at the volume surge. It's huge. This bar, on this bar, the stock did 7.4 million shares. Excuse me, 70. I'm sorry I get that wrong. Bear with me. 30. There we go, right there. 32 million shares. On this bar right here, it did 87 million shares. 32, 87. Folks, on this bar, they voted. Guess what we did? We bought. We bought. It's clean and simple. That's what we're looking for. I'm just going to do a couple more here, okay? Alibaba, clean and simple base. By the way, I did an extensive video on this for the VIPs. You can say, well, that looks really good. You know, I can see that, and volume came into it. That's nice. We look at daily charts. We look at weekly charts. Check this out. There's a weekly chart. And I'm going to do something for you. I made a video on this for VIPs before it broke out. Do you all see this right here? Did I come across clear? That's a cup and a handle, folks. Cup, handle. Look at the close on this bar. Look at the volume. As I stated, people talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. Right here, it went up on volume. Now you can say, oh, this is a bad bar, Pat. Look at this. This is bad. I want you to look very closely at this. It closes here. The next week, this is weekly, it gaps down. But you want to know a great tactic that a lot of people don't talk about, but we do. It gaps down and it falls, and then it goes back up and it closes. You see the close right there? That little hash mark? It closes above where it opened. Folks, they didn't sell it. They were buying it. On that weekly chart, it closed above where it opened. And then the next week, it gaps up, it falls, but look at how it closed on that weekly bar, right near the highs. And again, this is a weekly. We made videos for the VIPs before it broke out. Advance it, one bar, boom, off to the races. We bought it right there, bought it right here. And let's do this. How do you feel? Oh, you're happy. Let's sell. Why? This is something I love to do when I'm teaching this and coaching this, is to go through bar by bar so you can feel what it's like to own it, advance it. Oh, that's great. Look, it fell, but notice this. Right here, it didn't come down and touch our price. We're still okay. Could we have sold a little bit into strength on this bar because that was a good gain? Sure you could. There's no problem there at all. You're up 10 points. Next bar, you're okay though. And by the way, this bar here did not come down to our price. Advance it. Great. Advance it. Great. Advance it. Great. Right there. This is a weekly. Now I'm going to do something for you. This is the weekly. Here's the daily. Right there. There's the entry. Look at the volume. You know how I say people talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks? They bought it. They bought the tar out of it. Look at that. Goes up and then it pulls back. But folks, we study and teach price and volume. It goes up on heavy volume. And look at these bars. It fell on less volume than it went up on. See, that's what sets us apart, is analyzing price and volume. Open, high, low, close. It tells you where there's strength and it tells you where there's underlying weakness. Look at this bar here. You can say that's a red bar. Look at the open on that bar. Look at the close. That sucker closed at the highs right there. And it marches up. By the way, I'm sorry here. I'm a little sick right now, so I'm hoarse. Pulls right down to the 8-day, and then it does this right here today. Are we still in it? Yeah. Why sell? Why? I'll say it again. People say you'll never go broke taking a profit. That's a lie. If your losses are bigger than your profits, by Jove, you're going to go broke. Let's do another one. GSX. Buy right there. Had heavy volume the day before. Heavy volume right there. Is that beautiful? Now you can say, Pat, that's the daily. Can you show me the weekly? See, this is what we do all the time, is educate. So here's the weekly. Look at this. You've got a cup and a handle formation. Here's the cup, forms a handle. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. You think they voted on that weekly bar? That's very nice. I like that. Go back to the daily. Buying right there, runs up, pulls back. And by the way, folks, I talk about the 8-period exponential. That's a hybrid of something that I learned from Ed Sakota. How about that? And it marches up the 8. Look at how this stock has just marched up the 8-day. Are we still in it? Well, yeah. Why? It hasn't given us a reason to sell. Did we sell some into strength? Yes, but it's still working. Looking at Tesla. It goes up and then it goes sideways. It pulls back to this line on a drop off in volume. And then it picks up off the line on a pickup in volume. And the next day it goes higher on a pickup in volume. And what's it doing? It's forming a little channel here that a sixth grader could see. And then what's it do here? It pulls back and somebody goes, oh, that was it, Pat. That's it, man. It's over. Look at the lower volume. And then it pulls right back to the line on basically very low volume. And then it picks up on a pickup in volume. Right here, I was telling VIPs, if it takes out the highs of this bar, hey, that could be a buy. Just look at this channel here. It's nothing fancy, folks. It's nothing fancy. By the way, a lot of people say, I'll just wait for a cup and a handle formation. Let me tell you something. I tried it. You wait for the cup and a handle formation, you'll starve to death. You got to find a couple other simple patterns to make money. Goes up, pick up in volume. Buy right there. Bought it. Off. Good volume. Off. Low average volume, but it's still going up, right? Up. Gaps up, closes down. But folks, remember we talked about price and volume? How is the volume on this red bar versus this bar? It's less. We're okay. Payday. We call that sweet. Oh, sell it all. No, let it work. Down. How's the volume on this down bar, folks? It's less. I hope this is connecting dots for you. A lot of people don't talk about this. We do. Hey, folks, I'll say this again. I'm married with 4 kids years ago. 4 mouths to feed, plus my wife and myself. Hey, I had to do this. And by the way, I will tell you this. You can say, well, were you a broker back then? No. Were you an advisor back then? No. Were you anything back then? I was just a private investor trying to frickin' make money. I had to. And at the time, I had 4 kids in private schools. So I had to do it. And I'm thankful, by the way. I'm thankful. Not bragging, just thankful. Nice. Look at the volume pickup. Is that sweet? Look at the volume pickup. That's good money, folks. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? Trends pay. Look at that. Look at this. Closes at the highs. Can you see the trend? Up. Down a bit. Down a bit. Bases. And does this. By the way, what did it do right here, folks? Now you know. Now you know the trade secret. It bounced off the 8-day. It bounced off the 8-day. Just wanted to share that with you. Now let's look at a couple. What would you like to look at here? All righty, here we go. We're going to look at Mercado Libre. Here we go. This is a daily chart. Going sideways. Went up on average daily volume here. Fell here on average daily volume. Slight pickup. Fell here on heavier volume. And guess where it stopped, folks? Stopped at the 200-day. Again, that's why I'm really hung up on these moving averages. Everybody knows about them and uses them. And what did it do today? Maybe it was news. I don't know. It gaps up and it lifts through the 20-day. It lifts through the 8-day. And it does it on a pickup in volume. Could this have been bought sometime today? Possibly. Now, this is the day chart. Now I'm going to share the tactic with you, okay? This is the real world. This is today. Here's the hourly. Let's refresh that. Here's the hourly. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. Look at that first hourly bar. Maybe it was news. I don't know, okay? This is a question from somebody watching the webinar, so we just answer them. Look at the pickup in volume. That's the hourly. Take it to 30-minute. There you go. Look at the volume. It lifts off. Now, let's do something. I'm going to show you a great tactic. Let's take it to 10. Trigger bar. Lift it off. If a person wanted to buy this, what could they do? Wait the first 10 minutes, and then on this bar, if it takes out this bar's high, you could buy that. And if it starts to bleed back into this bar by 50% of this range, you could sell some off. But in the meantime, you've marched in for a great gain. That is an advanced tactic. It's something I do, something we do, all right? But I wanted to share it with you. That's Mercado Libre. Now, let's take it a step further. Let's suppose you bought it. Would you sell it all right here? Real world question, would you? No. Why would you? Why would you sell it? There's no reason to. It's just the start, and it's a igniting bar on heavy volume. Perhaps it's going to go higher. Here's another tactic for you. Real world tactic, folks, okay? All right, this isn't hypothetical textbook stuff. If you bought this right in here, taking out the previous bar's intrabar high, so I'll say you own it for $585, okay? Are you going to take this sucker all the way back down to $585? No. If this thing starts dropping tomorrow, maybe you could sell 25% off. What does that do? It guarantees a profit. If the rest of your shares fall to your price, you could sell the rest of them at break even, but you made money on some of your shares. Bottom line is this. Worst case scenario, you made money. Can you imagine that? Worst case scenario is, oh man, it was an awful day. Oh, really? What happened? I made money. There you go. That's the beauty of the tactics. That's real world stuff. That's not textbook stuff. That's putting the pedal to the metal and making it work. So there's Mercado Libre. By the way, there's somebody in the webinar right now, and they just told us this is okay. We're not going to tell you who it is. They did all that buying. It was them. Great job. Great job. I love it. Anyway, no, I love that. Hey, I'll share something with you. Some people get jealous. I rejoice in other people's successes. It's awesome. You know, I love to see people do well. It's great. It's great. You know what? We're here for a short time. We can either push each other up or we can pull each other up. But the one thing we can't do, let's not push or pull each other down. We're here. Let's make the best of the time that we have, however long it is. Maybe that's my New Year's message to everybody, but I want to share it. So here we go. Let's look at Twilio. All right, here we go. We're looking at Twilio. So what do you see here? I see a nice long base. What are some positives? It's a nice long base. It had good volume today. Now let's take it a step further, folks. This is what we do. What are some negatives? I'll just go ahead and chew on it for a second. What do you think? I love it. Tony Lewis, well done. Well done. Holding the 50-day, but below a falling 200-day. That is tough tuna. A falling 200-day, I share this with the VIP members all the time. Good things happen above the 200-day, and tougher things happen below the 200-day. Now, am I saying this is going to continue to stay down here? No, because now we're forecasting. We don't know the future. But let's do the real world. I'm going to do something for us. See, I don't know if you could tell this, folks. This was an IBD co-leader for 12 years. I get up on a stage. I love talking about this stuff. If you couldn't tell. By the way, no caffeine. It's just me. So look at this chart. I'll ask you, what would you like to see with price and volume that would get you interested in this stock? Close enough right there. You've got tops right here, several days of tops. You've got basically almost 2 days of tops right here. But what does it need to do, folks? There's two things, and I want you to think hard about this. For you to buy this stock, and by the way, I'm not recommending it, okay? We're not doing buy and sell recommendations here, please. But for you to be interested in this stock, for anybody, what does it need to do? It needs to push through this white line. Clean tops there, by the way. It needs to push through this white line, and it needs to do it with what, folks? Serious volume. You can say, Patrick, why do you say serious volume? Well, serious upside volume. I don't know about you, but that is one ugly bar. You see that right there? If you look up the word ugly in the dictionary, by Jove, that chart right there is going to look at it right there. See that? Ugly. How's this bar? Gaps up, runs up, closes in the bottom half of its range. And folks, that ain't mom and dad selling. That's serious coin right there. So what does it need to do? The real world. To take out this line, it needs to take out this line with good price and heavy, heavy volume to offset this. Now I'm going to show you a great tactic. This is the daily. Watch this. You're going to love this. Here's the daily. Let's go back to the weekly. There we go. Daily first. You can see the base. Now let's look at the weekly. There we go. Heavy down volume bar. Heavy down volume bar. Up volume bar, but less. Less last week. This week. We're just into this week. What does it need to do, folks? Push above that white line, and it needs to do it on really heavy volume. Now you're putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And if the volume isn't there, don't do it. This is a weekly chart. There's the daily. There you go. What else would you like to look at?
Robert has a good point, too. These folks are catching on because Robert says he wants to see a lot less whippy price action.
Amen.
Yep.
Good job, Robert.
True.
Love it. Yeah, I love, folks, I'll tell you what. The best ones normally come out of a relatively clean and simple, tight chart pattern. Focus on those, and you're stacking the deck in your favor. Good job. Good job.
Lonnie says she loves this, so you're doing a good job, Pat. Let's take a look at one more. Let's look at AYX.
Let's do it. Here we go. By the way, I thank you all for your comments and your compliments. And again, I have a passion for this. I remember when I first got started, like I said, in '86, that was before the internet. In fact, I'll share this with you. When I started, I had to go to the library and I grabbed the Wall Street journals because there was no Investors Daily then. I grabbed Wall Street journals and I took them and I drew my charts on graph paper by hand. How about that? You can say, geez, you're old. Don't bring that up again because it kind of hurts me. But that's how committed I was trying to figure this out. Nobody's going to tell you. Nobody's going to tell you. So this is what we do. And that's why I'm doing this. It's the mission, trying to help people. Markets, industry, sector, stock, institutional sport, outstanding management. And you know what the N stands for, folks? In Mission Winners, never say never. Never say never. Never give up. Never quit. Keep pushing it. All right? Keep pushing it. I can't stress that enough. Have that mindset. Biggest part of this game, I've said it before, the biggest part of this game is not what's before your eyes. It's what's between your ears. Focus on the positive and make it happen. So here we go. AYX. This was actually a keyless stock a long time ago. Back in here. I still remember that. Ain't that fun? So we're going to stretch this down. Let's shrink it down a little bit. So here we go. Let's look at the daily first. Here's the 200-day. It pushed through the 200-day today. It did it on a volume pickup. Okay? It stopped right at the 200-day. What does this need to do? It needs to push through the 200-day. By the way, this was written up in Investors Daily on 115. That's something I look at is just, things that they talk about, right? Why? A lot of people read it, gives it an extra boost. And, they do good work. No problems there at all. Pulls back right here on volume. Average daily volume. Low volume, and then lifts, but again, all right, New Year's Eve, lifts today on a pickup in volume, right at the 200-day. So what do we need? We need to take this out on a big volume pickup. Why a big volume pickup, folks? Well, two reasons why. Because there ain't no volume yet. There's no conviction. Volume is conviction. There's no volume conviction. And that bar right there, that is not mom and dad selling. That is serious institutional support. You have to be careful with that. Let's look at Apple here real quick. We own it. It's a great question here. Let's take a look at this. And it's trending up. This is a daily chart. You should always look there. Folks, 200-day, 50-day, 20-day, 8-day. Look at the beautiful trend up the 8-day. Is that sweet potato pie? I love that. I love that. That's what we look for. Look at back here when we pick this up. I'm thankful for it, okay? I'm thankful for it. We're up 70 some odd points. This is great. Where's it going to stop? There's a Wall Street saying. I want to share this with you. You'll never go broke taking a profit. Like I said before, that's not true. If your losses are bigger than your profits, you'll go broke. Our goal is this, to buy right and own some shares for as long as humanly possible. Do you know where this is going to go? Anybody in here know where this is going to go? If you do, let me know, okay? Because I'd like to take you to dinner, okay? In fact, I'd like to work with you. How's that sound? But then I'd also say, no, I don't want to work with you because you're a liar. Yeah, okay, I'm teasing. No, we don't know the future. You just got to get in line with it. Trends pay. Where's it going to go? I don't know. Ride it for as long as it's worth. Now, let's take this a step further. Let's do the real world. He's like, man, this thing is kicking butt. I think I'll buy some. Every time you buy something, you need to ask yourself this question. If it doesn't work out, where I'm going to sell it? Where will you sell this? If you buy this here at $300, what are you going to do? Give it down to the 50-day? By the time it hits the 50-day, you'll lose about, maybe 30 points. You want to give it down to the 50-day to lose 30 points? That'd be about a 10% loss. You want to lose 10%? Not me. I'll lose the rest of my hair. Just marching on up. Is there an entry on this spot? No, there's not. Now, this is the daily. Let's look at the weekly. What do we say? Great question. An individual just asked a question. By the way, I have to compliment all of you. First off, you're demonstrating the initiative to get better. Why? Because you're here. A lot of people are out horsing around. You know what you're doing? Or maybe they're still nursing a hangover. Just kidding. You're here trying to get better. I commend you for that. That's awesome. That's what sets a winner from just an average individual. They're willing to make the commitment. Good for you. Bravo. So you look at this down volume bar here. You say, boy, that's the end of the dang world right there. I'll say this again. Trends pay. You can say, well, let's look at it as it's happening. This is what we teach. This is what I teach all the time. There's the bar, folks. Where's the bar? Look at this. Oh, my God. This is it. It's over. It's over. We have rules. We have tactics. Did it lose the 8-day? No. Did it gap up and reverse down? Yes. But it didn't lose the moving average. We have to wait. We have rules, stringent rules, that work through time. And the next day, it goes up and up and up. And that's where we're at, right here. We just let it work. All righty. Okay, so, folks, I just wanted to share this with you. I'm going to show you one more real quick, okay? This is important. This is one of our bigger winners last year. And this is not a brag fest, but this is important. A lot of people talk, oh, it's just a fad. It's just a fad. This stock had tremendous revenue growth when it broke out and it was in a leading group. And what do you have here? Look at the low here. Look at the low here versus the low here. Gosh, I don't even need to get a calculator or anything out. I think this low is higher than this low. You have a higher low. Comes down to a moving average, and it bounces off of it on a pickup in volume and another pickup in volume. We bought it here, and we bought it right here. And what did it do, folks? We talk about trends paying. Trends pay. Trends pay. There's a great quote that I read, and I had it taped to my computer monitor for over 20 years. It saved me through the years. I'll believe in what I see and not in what I believe. You can say, oh, it's a fad. Well, I'll tell you what, 70 to 230, you can call it a fad if you want. You know what I call it? I call that some serious money. And again, it was real. It was in a leading group, and it had great revenue growth. Great revenue growth. We sold some into strength. We sold some right into losing this moving average, dropping down. Where did we sell our last shares? Right there. Right there. And it worked like a champ. That's good money. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. It's what we do. So now you have a really good idea. At least I hope you do. We're very stringent. We have to be stringent. We're here for a limited amount of time. We have a limited amount of money. We need to put it to work in the best stocks at the right time. At the right time. I'd love to have the opportunity to work for you and answer your questions. What I just did right here, I make videos like this every day. Not this long, okay? Not this long. I'd go crazy, and so would the person listening to it. But I make videos every day for VIPs answering their questions. And in the VIP feed, we also go through and we answer questions via text, textual, real time with answers. Hey, Pat, what do you think about NVIDIA? What do you think about InMode? I mean, what should we do with INMD? Should we, we own this one too right here. Look at that. Look at this nice little panorama. Look at the volume pickup. Boom, boom, boom. That's a nice car. 27. Our average price was right here, 27.31. Earnings up 109%. Sales up 55%. As I said, that's how we build a case. And that worked out really good. We sold it off into strength and took it. So here's the bottom line. First off, I thank you for being there. Secondly, Happy New Year to you. I hope this is a good year for you in all respects. And I really mean that. And I've been a youth group volunteer at church for 20 years with young guys. Hey, let me tell you something. Life is tough. We're here to help each other. If we can't do that, then what's the use of walking the earth? So that's part of the reason I do this. That's not a sales line either, by the way, okay? I don't do that. But I will share this with you. I would love to have the opportunity to work for you, to explain things to you, most importantly, to give you some knowledge over 30 plus years of experience, successful ways of how to invest your money. Not trade it, how to invest it so that you're in charge of your finances and can run it. Anyway, that's what we have. I thank you for your time. I'm sorry that I was not 100%. Right now, I am fighting a fever. And that's life. That's the way it goes. But I thank you all very much. I appreciate it. And anything else you'd like to add or anything like that, sir?
I don't believe so. Did a great job.
That's perfect. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Hey, Happy New Year to you. And again, Owen and I thank you. If you have any questions, fire away. We'll answer them for you. And like I said, we'd love to work for you, help to teach you, but most importantly, through knowledge, help you make money. That's what we're after. So thank you all. Happy New Year. And we'll look forward to talking to you soon.